Hello and welcome back to Anime Plus Recaps. Today we recap something that may also have been our dream too, like Izu. Without further ado, spoilers ahead. Izu was born into a wealthy family, unlike us who wipe both our ass and face with the same towel. But his parents disowned him because of his dream to become a pro gamer. What a bummer. He ran away when he was still young and lived with his best friend So Muku, who also shared the same dream like homies. Story begins when esports is officially recognized as a sport in China and a popular MMORPG called Glory just started its first ever esports professional championship league. By July, pro teams from all over the country will compete in the esports scene. For the first time, players from all over the provinces start forming their own team, and two expert Glory players, Yuzu and So Muku, speak about the league while at work in an internet cafe. So Muku tells Yuzu that he's excited about joining the Pro League because he'll get to play against the best Glory players in the world. He also tells that he wants the 24-karat gold trophy that the winners will get at the end of the championship. However, Yuzu argues that joining the pro scene means he'll have to sacrifice a lot of things. In response, Muku asks him if he doesn't want to touch the trophy. Yuzu does want to touch it and become a champion, but at the same time, he knows that his identity will be exposed. He first needs to get his family's approval, otherwise he will end up tarnishing their name and increase their hate towards him. Hearing this, Muku offers to help him out. That night, Yuzu and Muku are doing their usual work in the internet cafe when they are asked by their boss, Tao, who is a bad player, to join his hunt to kill a world boss. Yuzu and Muku slot in their Glory cards and a login machine and call their usual raid. Group members to help their boss out, the Cliff. Ronin Alpine boss has just spawned in royal style. A group of professional players tries to steal it from Teo, who's not only their boss but also the guild leader. Yuzu introduces Kai Breaker, a martial artist, to Tao, and the latter tells Yuzu that he's going to lead the team. Yuzu tells everyone that royal style players are all bad except for the Exorcist, the only one who has idea of what he's doing. So he tells the team to separate the Exorcist from the royal style main team so he and Muku can finish them off. The mission starts and the boss enters. Its enraged state tiebreaker appears from the shadows and inactivates the chief points of the Exorcist, sending the guy flying. Muku follows up with bullet rain skill and Yuzu throws his evil annihilation spear towards the enemy, sending the Exorcist down. Meanwhile, emotionless magic summons an ice wall, cutting the path of the remaining royal style, while Spring Heaven finishes off the remaining members. The Exorcist recognizes Yuzu's skill and Yazu asks him to admit defeat, but he refuses. Yuzu then starts dueling him to activate the 7th stage of Battle Spirit, a 120-hit combo passive skill that greatly boosts the player's attributes and fighting style. Yazu then increases his finger speed, planting a face kick toward the Exorcist's face. The Exorcist tries to take Yuku out, but Yuzu manages to blow him away to the respawn point. The next day, Yuzu meets with his twin brother Yiku, who asks him how he's doing, and Yuzu tells his brother that he's finally about to go pro, without the help of game hacks of course. But to his family, video games are seen as nothing more than an expensive hobby, especially to a mother who tells her children to pause their online lobby game. Yuzu then tells him that becoming a pro player isn't just playing video games. His brother mentions to him that their parents are asking how he's doing because Yuzu is doing nothing all day but playing video games instead of taking over the family business. Yuzu tells him they're like kites and their parents are trying to chokehold their flight. But Yiku just tells him to do what he wants, and he'll keep it a secret until their parents approve him again, and then hands him a face mask to cover up his identity. Maybe because they already knew that a pandemic 2 will break out next year literally. After meeting his brother, Yuzu accompanies Muku and his little sister Suma-chan, and they reminisce about how they met. The next day, Muku upgrades Yuzu's weapon Evil Annihilation, telling Yisu that it's the best and hot weapon in the game right now. He further tells him that it should take the #1 Glory player in the world further into the competition. No hacks though. At work, they are approached by Tao, their boss, inviting them to join the team he's assembling to join the Pro League. They spend the next couple of days renovating their new headquarters, and the two finally become the first unofficial pro players for the Excellent Era Pro team. While the two are at the Excellent Era HQ, Yuzu sees Muku creating a new character dancing rain. Muku tells him that it's a surprise present for Suma-chan. Their raid party team members arrive a few seconds later, being the ones who will also join their team. Composed by Yuzu So Muku, emotionless magic woven shadows spring heaven and Kai Breaker. With the excellent era team members complete and ready to go, Brother Tao asks them to sign the contracts and bring out their IDs for documentation. Unfortunately, Sumyuko forgets his ID and tells the team that he'll go back home to get it. Sumyuko manages to get home, get his ID, and then head back to the HQ. While heading back, the windy bad weather makes a 3-branch crack over a car where the driver tries to dodge it. The car starts to spin and ends up hitting Sumyuko, ending his life with Sumyuko ill-timed death. Man, that's one way to die virgin. Sumaching is now brotherless and Yuzu becomes her guardian, creating a huge problem for the team. Excellent Era is not doing so excellent right now, especially with one of their best team members missing from their ranks. With the deadline coming close each day, Excellent Eras tries with their best efforts to look for an expert player to join their team, but they get declined each time until the last day. Someone finally gets past Yuzu's requirements and fights against him. Total Darkness challenges Yuzu in a 1 versus 1 match, but he didn't even get a chance, because Yuzu absolutely destroys him. Talk about protagonist advantage. Yuzu hands out the contract and asks him to join his team, with Total Darkness completing the team member count. Requirements: excellent years, ready to fight in the tournament. Before they join the competition, Yuzu gives Suma Chang her brother's final gift, a glory card, and tells her that her brother made her a character Dancing Rain who looks just like her. A couple of days later, the Glory's first Pro League starts. Excellent Era enters the stage in their first professional match against Blue Rain. Being the #1 player in Glory, Yuzu carries Excellent Era with his dragon skill, and they dominate the preliminary stages, winning the individual 3v3 and 5v5 matches. After the fight, Yuzu takes Suma back home. Suma confesses that she's afraid of being alone after her brother's death, but Yuzu reassures her that he's there and everything is going to be alright. After winning matches by matches, Excellent Era faces off against the self-proclaimed best team, Royal Style. The fight starts, and after a couple of minutes, Excellent Era and Royal Style are down to their 2 players. Yuzu locks Peaceful Hermit in a duel while Total Darkness is engaged with Peaceful Canoe, who are both their captain supports. Yuzu warns Total Darkness to not let their guard down and to wait for an opening to strike. After an exchange of words, Peaceful Hermit dives his size and attacks Yuzu, which Yuzu dodges and follows up with a spear charge, activating his V-style Sky Strike. Yuzu uses a Sakura Strike, but Peaceful Hermit counters with 2 binding talismans to restrain him down to their last hit. Yuzu orders Total Darkness to finish off Peaceful Hermit, but Royal Style was already 1 step ahead. Excellent Era loses this match. After the match, Yuzu meets Peaceful Canoe's previous owner Gu. He informs Yuzu that he changed accounts, and Liu Yang holds Peaceful Hermit now. He also adds that Total Darkness has potential and used to be playing for Royal Style's boot camp, but didn't make the cut because he always tries to prove himself. Later, Yuzu walks in on their team arguing, mostly blaming Total Darkness for lacking teamwork, poor decision-making, and trying to prove himself, resulting in their total failure. Total Darkness leaves the room and Yuzu tells him to go back and rest, telling him that he'll wait for him tomorrow. He then tells his team that he also was like him in the past, always trying to prove himself even when no one really asks. The next day, Yuzu goes with Total Darkness to bring him back to the team. After a couple of talks and some exercise, Total asks if the team is going to still play with only 5 players. Yuzu tells him they have always been waiting for him and registering his name on the team sheet. Furthermore, they believe in him instead of Royal Sword, who deemed him as a player without any future due to his lack of teamwork. If he joins them, they can win the championship. Finals are here and Excellent Era is still lacking 1 member. The team is worried that they're going to lose without another player on their team, but Yuzu reassures them that they're going to win and that they have his secret weapon. The finals official starts and Yuzu draws the first blood. Although Excellent Era manages to hold off Royal Style from royally beating them up, they're clearly struggling without Total Darkness. Half-team break starts, and Yuzu tries to calm everyone as they're already depressed because they won't have a chance to lift the trophy. Motionless Magic asks about Yuzu, telling them about their secret weapon. Turns out Yuzu bamboozled them and bluntly lied to them by telling them that they themselves are the secret weapon. He tries to inspire his team before heading out to fight Royal Style once again. The 2 teams enter the stage again, and they'll be facing each other on the new map called the Royal Library. The match starts, and Royal Style are on the second floor waiting to ambush Excellent Era. Izu and the gang, on the other hand, casually walk the ground floor, scanning the area. Once he's done scanning, Yezu gives the green light, and Spring Heaven shoots the elevator lever. The elevator arrives, and Izu ambushes the 4 members of Royal Style. He goes after the gunner first, attacking him with a Sekiro palm strike. However, the gunner quickly leaps back into action. Peaceful Hermit appears and commands everyone to kill Yezu, who casually blocks the projectiles from the gunner while dealing with a rogue and Peaceful. The gunner throws a grenade, but Yezu redirects it to the staircase. Emotionless magic informs Yezu that cracks are forming in the pillars, and Yezu orders them to stand by. Peaceful Hermit goes after Yezu, but he simply dodges the attack. Yezu then signals his team to bomb the pillars separating the Royal Style team and trapping Royal Style's members within Yezu's reach. Yezu goes to 1v3 the Royal Style members while trying to draw Peaceful Canoe out. Meanwhile, Total Darkness finally appears on stage. Yezu increased his attack speed output to hit his combos. He quickly inactivates the gunner and tries to activate the 7th stage of Battle Spirit. Peaceful Hermit notices this and commands his team to interrupt Yuzu's combo, but Yuzu's unmatched speed and skill proved to be a headache for his team. After hitting his 110th combo, he activates his Azure Dragon skill, eliminating the rope from the battle. However, Royal Style sets the second floor on fire. With no enemy to hit, Yuzu's combo resets to 0, and now he has to find a way to escape. While his team members are getting beaten by Royal Style, Yuzu assures his team he's got a plan and starts chasing after the retreating Royal Style members. He orders Kai Breaker and Total Darkness to cover him while using the falling debris as his jumping platform. Once in range, Yuzu fires off his projectiles, bombing the 2 members from the front stage. Ma-Chang cries her lungs out, trying to encourage and support Excellent Era. Hearing this, Yuzu becomes motivated to win. Total Darkness finishes off the gunner, while Yezu hits his 117th combo with the enemy's cleric. He then asks TD and Kai Breaker to wait for his signal. Spring Heaven gets eliminated and orders Emotionless Magic to bring Woven Shadows to support Yezu. Yezu hits his 118th combo, and the cleric jumps off the platform, while Peaceful Hermit goes to intercept Yezu. Yezu hit his 119th combo before blocking Peaceful Hermit's attack and using it as a platform. To catapult himself upwards, Emotionless Magic navigates the ground floor, and before running out of MP, he uses his magic to send Woven Shadows to support Yezu. Yezu finally gives the signal, and Total Darkness summons his blades to become Yezu's platform, while Kai Breaker boosts himself upward within Woven Shadows' Guardian Angel range, boosting Yezu's current HP to 60%. Yezu throws his spear toward the Peaceful Hermit, but Peaceful Canoe sacrifices himself to redirect the attack. With this final attack, Yezu reaches his 120-hit combo, activating the 7th stage of Battle Spirit for the first time in a Pro Championship tournament. And so Yezu and Peaceful Hermit face off in the final battle to win the trophy. Yezu initiates the attack and starts fighting Peaceful Hermit. The two fight for a full-on minute of intense melee action before coming to a stalemate. Yezu resumes attacking, and Peaceful Hermit tries to block the attack, but Yezu breaks his guard and kicks him down. He then tries to follow up with an attack, but Peaceful Hermit destroys the platform he's dashing on. Peaceful Hermit comes out of the rubble and enchants his side with lightning, and the two squares off once again, sustaining wounds from their clashing weapons. Yezu sneaks in another Sekiro palm strike, but Peaceful Hermit counters with 2 talismans, blasting their own health bars down to their last hit. Peaceful Hermit then enchants his side with extended weapon range, and as he confidently charges into Yuzu's range, he gets hit with a Poison Ivy knockoff ability Rose Vines, restraining him and stabbing him with his Evil Annihilator, ending the match. Excellent Era wins Glory's first Pro League, finally fulfilling Yuzu's dream of becoming a pro player without using hacks. Oh, also shout out to the homie who actually pushed him to reach his goal while dying himself. What anime recap you want us to do next? Subscribe and make sure to comment down below. Sayonara.